I'm done with all the notes. Now I'll go to my balance sheet and compare every line so I don't miss anything. Let me compare these PPE that has from 510 become 634. So I have to chalk out all the reasons that why this PPE could have changed. I have opening, I have closing. Opening 510, closing being 634. Think at the top of your head and chalk out the reasons why it would change. Probably because there's a purchase, it would increase. Probably because there's a sales, it would decrease. Because of depreciation, again, it will decrease. Because of revaluation, it will increase. So these are the reasons. So definitely, I know there was a depreciation in the year of a negative 87 because 510 would decrease because of the depreciation. I know that an asset was sold, so sales of an asset and my carrying value of the asset sold. I'll take carrying value into consideration, of course, is 75,000 and not the sale proceeds. Okay, so sales will also lead to my opening balance decreasing. Then I have to check if there any revaluation. Well, the examiner mentions in the note that there is revaluation. You would know from the equity side. So from 0, your revaluation reserve is becoming 50. For sure, there is a revaluation increase. All right. Now let's see where your property, plant and equipment is standing right now. At 398. So this 398 doesn't match the 634. Why? Probably because you have made some purchases. That's why your balance happened to increase. And how much are those purchases? 236. 236 are your purchases. Purchases is a cash inflow for you, so please add. Sorry, purchases is a cash outflow for you, so please deduct. So further, I have compared PPE. Now let's go and compare the other items. Inventory, 460 to 420. Decreasing. From cash point of view, good because inventory decreasing means my cash is releasing. Or 40 decrease. Trade receivables from 320 to 390, increasing by 17. Bad because money stuck with the debtors. Investments, I'll take it later. Cash and bank can hand later. Share capital already catered. They increase because of a share issue. The premium and the share capital will be different because of that only. Revaluation reserve catered. Now when you compare retained earnings, there's definitely a change. The opening balance negative 70 and closing is 63. So why does the retained earnings change? Because it's profit figures that keep accumulating. And if you happen to compare this opening negative 70, I'll just do a rough calculation. This is negative 70 and closing is 63 and profit for the year is 186. So negative 70 and 186, when you accumulate the profit of this year on year, you're getting a figure of 116. However, closing only shows 63. This is definitely because you have made a dividend payment. That's how your retained earnings would decrease, right? How examiner had given you clearly in the notes what was the dividend paid figure. Negative 53, it was given in the note. But just in case it's not given, this is how you derive it. Then coming to loan notes, already catered the repayment. Bank OD is a cash equivalent, I'll take it later. Trade payables from 400, they become 550, a 150 increase. Increase in payables is definitely good because I am, from cash point of view, because I am reserving cash with me. Then I have income tax from 90, it becomes 100. So I'll do a dedicated working for income tax. Opening again was 90 and closing 100. Income tax expense in PL was how much? 104. So when you compare 194 and 100, you get that the tax paid has been a negative 94. So where do you take tax paid? Is this place. Just going to create some space for myself. So tax paid has also been catered. Now accruals figure, a 33 and 36. Okay, so a 33 and 36 is being compared, but out of this 33 already we have catered, out of this accruals we have already catered for interest payables. This is made up of probably other stuff also. Interest is what we have already catered, so remove any balance in 33 and 36 regarding interest. So opening was from 33 was full 33. If you'll remember, the accruals balance includes interest payables 33 in the opening and 6 in the closing. So remove 33 from the opening and 6 from the closing. That leaves me with 0 opening and 30 closing. So there is an increase in accruals of 30. Now this must have been charged as an expense in PL, and I want to remove the impact of this non-cash expense. So to remove the impact, I'll have to add it back. Add back 30. Okay. So add increase in accruals, that is 30. So sorry. So I'll get cash flow from operating activities. And I'll get net cash flow from operating activities. Sorry. What I have to do is I have to just take the sum till the sub balance of 518. So I'm getting 378. Okay. When I take net cash flow from operating activities, I'm getting, let's see what I get, a figure of negative 128. And when I take net cash flow from financing activities, I get a figure of negative 53. When I take the net increase or decrease in cash and cash equivalents, let's see, what do we get? A sum of 197. Okay, to this I have to add my opening cash and cash equivalents, which is opening investment is 0. Why I'm considering investment in cash equivalent? Because in the note it said that it's a highly convertible bond. So 005 and a negative 70. So that's a negative 65. Okay. a negative 65, and closing cash and cash equivalents should match this. I'm getting 132. Let's see how much are the closing cash and cash equivalents. 50, 75, 7 and 0 over here. So 50, 75 and 7, which is 132. A perfect match. So my answer is tallying, and that way my cash flows is completely correct.